Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrew Bryant with a giant ovation.
Well, self-leadership really starts with head and heart. And also hand, because it's what we think, what we feel, what we do. We saw a formula for that this morning. What we think, what we feel, what we do. And when we face a challenge or an opportunity, the self-leader says, what do I think about this? Is this an opportunity? Is this a challenge? Is this a chance? Or the self-leader is checking, what do they say to themselves? Are they saying to themselves, oh, I can't do this? I heard somebody today, just at lunchtime, say, well, I don't think I could get up there and speak. Well, of course, that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I think I can't, I can't. What do I feel about this? Am I emotive about this? Do I have passion? Do I have joy? Do I have excitement about this? Or do I have fear or anxiety? And if I'm self-observing and I know I have some anxiety, I can do something about it. Because if I feel anxiety about standing up here, I can look at myself and say, well, what am I anxious about? Now, how social cognitive theory helps us is it tells us that our ability to influence the world is directly correlated to our perception of our effectiveness. Now, this is the psychology behind what Henry Ford said. We all know the maxim that Henry Ford said, don't we? If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you either way, you're correct. You know your self-leadership when you meet adversity, and we all meet it at different times in our lives. This movie talks about self-leadership. Who's seen this movie? Have you seen this movie? Yeah, okay, all the people. This is an amazing movie, although I'm not sure about Matt Damon playing rugby as an Englishman. I have a problem with that. But of course, Morgan Freeman does an amazing job of playing Mandela. And of course, the movie is based on a poem by Henley, which is a Victorian poet, which actually encapsulates this concept of resilience and self-leadership. And there's the last two stanzas of the poem I put here on the PowerPoint slide. There we go. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Whose thoughts are they?
Mine!
Whose feelings are they?
Mine!
Whose actions are they?
Mine!
Whose communication is it?
Mine!
Can anybody make you feel inferior?
No!
Doesn't that feel good? Give yourselves a round of applause. As I said, when you go to the office tomorrow and your boss says, can I have that report by 4 o'clock? You only need to say it on the inside. What you do need to do is if somebody says, you're stupid, or you can't do that, or you're not up for the task, that's when your self-efficacy kicks in and goes, I can. I'm going to reject your programming, and I'm going to take on my own behavioral programming. So finally, what do I do about this? When we think, well, this is an opportunity, this is a chance, I get some feeling, a possibility, I tap into my self-efficacy, I can do this, then we begin to start and develop from our conscious incompetence to our conscious competence. And this is why I think it's a positive bias. You see, if I influence myself, I get my own ego out of the way. So I release others of the requirement to make me feel okay about myself. I know who I am, I know what my strengths are, I know the areas of development, and so you don't have to make me feel good. Now, at the end you feel like you want to stand up and clap, that would be fantastic, but you don't have to. I will know whether I did a good job up here in this 45 minutes way before you clap or don't clap. The positive virus is when I release myself of you needing to make me feel good, now I've got time to spread the word. I've got time to make other people feel good. I can help other people take ownership of their thoughts and feelings, speech and behavior. When somebody says, I can't do that, and I say, well, let's examine that. Let's have a look at where that mindset came from. Because what precedes thinking, feeling, and acting, head, heart, and hand, is a frame of mind. We frame ourselves. And do we frame ourselves as a leader, as a contributor, as creative, as innovative? And then we can influence those around us. We can become an example. Because people learn vicariously. They learn by role models. And the best type of leadership, of course, is a role model leadership. Believing in others. You see, self-leadership is not selfish. Now, I had to put this slide in because often when talking about self-leadership, people went, well, that's just a Western concept. It's about you're okay, but everybody else is going to suffer. Quite the contrary. You see, with self-leadership, we can have virtual teams. Right? This is why organizations need self-leadership, because we have matrix organizations. We have independent teams. And we need people to make decisions, whether they're in Bangalore or Manila or in New York. And we don't want to have to look over their shoulder and check their work. We need shared leadership where you as an individual can say to your boss, I think this is a good idea. And your boss goes, yes, I think it is a good idea. Let's incorporate it. The cards you get. Now, if you get 2 aces, great. But it's the way you play those cards. You have to influence those around you to believe that you have a good hand of cards. And I think that's life. I think some of us grew up and were very fortunate. We had parents who encouraged our self-leadership. We went to good schools, had good education, and we got ourselves a sense of entitlement. If you read Malcolm Gladwell's book on Outliers, he talks very much about this sense of entitlement. You know, people who are well-educated, well-spoken, get better medical care, they get better jobs, they have a sense of entitlement. Others were told, you're worthless, you're not wanted, you can't do it. Well, it's not possible. From our caste, from our religion, from our ethnicity, you can't do it. You're just a. That programming becomes the self-fulfilling promise. Yeah, the beautiful thing about self-leadership is with the people that we have identified as being successful, have chosen to play whatever deck of cards they have. So whatever gender they are, whatever race or creed they are, they choose to play the cards. And since today is called Raise Your Game, there's a challenge for you. You've got a deck of cards, you've got skills, you've got competencies, you've got experiences, you've got relationships. How will you play those cards? Because that is your choice. Whose choice is it? Mine. Will anybody take that choice away from you? No. Well, if you believe that, and you act on that, then my job is done. Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Bryant.